What's good, sports gamers? And with it, oh my gosh. And with this video, I'm going to be going over with you some tips and tricks you need to know to get you off on the right foot in MLB The Show 24. I'm Chris from Sports Gamers Online, and alright, let's get it. If you have your opponent in a rundown, first off, make sure you're on the lead bag they're trying to go to, and just run them down. Don't play the back and forth here. By doing so, sometimes they'll try and anticipate you throwing it and they run right into you. Or you can add in a pump fake by double tapping the base you want to throw to try and force the issue. When fielding, there are a few things you're going to want to know how to do and be aware of when to do them. First is diving for the ball. In the infield, it's kind of a last minute thing once you realize the ball is about to go by you. And you do it by hitting R2 or RT on your controller to dive for the ball. You want to time your dive where it's a last resort, if your fielder can't get to the ball. To gauge if you need to do it, draw an imaginary line across your player to meet the ball's path. From here, it can clue you into if you might not be able to get to it and a dive is your only option. Also in the outfield, diving can save extra base hits, using the same method of figuring out if you're going to be able to get to the ball before it goes past you. Then hitting R2 or RT on your controller to cut it off. You don't want to get crazy on the base pass and have runners thrown out because you thought your 40 speed guy could run home. On base hits, if you're not already around the base by the time the fielder catches the ball, a rule of thumb is don't try it. It probably won't end well. Another thing with fielding is being prepared to throw on the run, as the meter will move away from the middle where it typically is. This happens a lot with, for example, the second baseman going to his left. To focus on where the meter is at and set yourself up to still make a perfect throw landing inside the green, look above the meter when it first appears to gauge where the green you need to land it in is at. Then you focus on stopping it inside to throw it. It's important to land inside the green or your fielder has an increased chance of sailing the ball over your fielder's head or them straight up dropping the ball on and out. Every big league hitter says they sit fastball, and what they mean by that is it's easier to expect speed and adjust to slow than the other way around, because the fastball can seem that much faster if you're not expecting it. And that's what you want to do as well before every pitch. Visually in your mind, imagine the pitcher throwing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball in for a strike. So just by anticipating it, you'll be able to react to it much faster. When hitting, you want to have a key spot you focus on that lets you pick up the ball as soon as possible. And you want to have this be consistent for every pitch the pitcher throws. Having a consistent area you're looking towards that's not the actual pitcher who you know is moving around as much as possible can help improve your consistency at the plate and help you pick up the ball as soon as possible. If you find yourself going up there and just swinging at everything and getting mad at your opponent for it, you can help yourself by just focusing on one part of the plate and form a tunnel of sorts from your focal point to the area in the strike zone that you're focusing on. If the ball doesn't go through that tunnel, do not swing at the pitch. Another thing you must know immediately is as a pitcher, you're probably going to be hanging around the edges and you end up starting to pitch here and then you wonder why you're constantly throwing balls. Because you're making it more than a 50% chance that a ball will happen. You see the outline around the ball? That's the possible spots the pitch can land in if you nail the meter. So if you see when you put the ball on the line, it's shaded perfectly 50% out of the zone and 50% in. And that's the best case scenario here. Guys like Greg Maddux have very small outlines because they're known for their accuracy, but everybody isn't Maddux. There's room for error here. So you want to be aware of how much of the ball outline you're leaving in and out of the strike zone when you throw a pitch to get your desired outcome. Like let's say for your specific pitch, like a slider away, you're going to want to make sure if you nail the pitch motion that it has almost no shot of landing in the strike zone so they can miss it. So make sure the ball outline isn't in the strike zone as well. If you struggle getting to certain pitches in specific locations, it may be time to get used to the PCI anchor system. which by moving your left stick around in the zone and then clicking your left stick in, lets you lock it in different spots. So you can set up in different areas instead of having it stay straight right down the middle. Just make sure it's enabled in your control settings to do so. When sliding into a base, whether from stealing or running against a throw from the outfield, the direction you slide into the base directly affects whether you're tagged out or not. So you're going to want to increase your chance of being called safe by sliding away from the tag. For example, if you're stealing second base, you never want to come into the base straight on. You're going to want to slide to the back of the base to avoid the tag and increase your shot at being safe. And on throws from the outfield, again, you're going to want to slide away from where the ball is coming from. In real life and in the show, when you're batting against a pitcher that throws from the same side, it's immensely harder to hit inside pitches opposed to if your batter was on the other side, because you have way less time to react to them, which for a lot of us out there spells trouble. So you can make sure to try and have a good balance of hitters who bat from either side, and even switch hitters to make it a bit easier on yourself to time up pitches. When running the bases, you don't want to rely solely on L1R1 or LBRB, which is the advance all feature, which tells everybody you have on base to advance to the next one, as this can get you in trouble in certain situations when it will require a bit more finesse on the base pass. Instead of being focused on getting a runner to third or home by hitting advance all, and you end up sacrificing one of your other base runners. So you're going to want to know how to do it manually, which you do by aiming the left stick at the specific runner on the base path you want to change. And when you do, you will see their circle light up, and then press the corresponding button telling them where to run. Just make sure when you start manually changing base runners' bases, make sure everybody's base makes sense, or else you end up with two guys on one base. This guy here probably told his guy on second to go to third and never changed his guy on third to go home. Another situation where the advance all button can help you is on pass balls by the catcher. All you have to do is click L1 or LB to automatically make your guy on first or second go to the next base. When your opponent has a runner on first, help yourself out and try to force a double play by pitching low in the zone with pitches like sinkers and changeups that gives you a good chance to have your opponent hit over top of it and straight into the ground. When playing MLB The Show 24, your camera view is the key to everything. And to give yourself the best chance of being able to tell balls from strikes, you almost have to play on one of the strike zone cameras. While pitching, pressing down on the D-pad lets you adjust your infield and outfield positioning. You have 5 preset options for each, but the really cool thing is you can individually change each player on the field by pressing triangle or Y on your controller. And you can set these settings for when a specific batter comes up or the entire lineup. And if you go into your settings in the main menu, you can disable the automatic shift that really just lets in soft hits more than they help you get out. You can turn this off so everybody will play defense straight up unless you change it. When you hit L2 or LT on your controller, you're able to see what pitches the pitcher threw to you your last at bat when you first come up to the plate, and previous pitches during the current at bat after the first pitch of the at bat. It's a good reminder of what got you out last time or what pitch you crushed, and may even clue you into the pitcher's tendencies. If you want to put somebody on base that has been giving you the business all game to face somebody weaker, hit L1 or LB on your controller and then hit circle or the B button to put them on. So alright sports gamers, I hope this video was able to help you out. And if you like the content we provide, make sure to subscribe to Sports Gamers Online for more MLB The Show content. And once you're with us, hit that bell icon at the bottom so you don't miss anything we put out. Alright people, I'm Chris. Thank you all for watching, and be good y'all.